Let us now discuss surrender and confession of guilt that is found in paragraph 7, article 13 of the revised penal code. Surrender and confession, if present, are appreciated as two independent ordinary mitigating circumstances. Ang ibig sabihin nito, pag sumurrender ang akusado bago pa man hinuli siya, and then pagkatapos niyan doon sa korte nag-confess siya sa kanyang pagkakasala, then it will be appreciated as two independent ordinary mitigating circumstances. So if there are two ordinary mitigating circumstances, it will become privileged mitigating. So let us get the requisites for voluntary surrender. So in this case, the offender, one, should not actually be arrested and surrendered to the person in authority or agent of the person in authority. And the surrender must be voluntary. So surrender must be spontaneous. Ibig sabihin, bukal sa kanyang loob, meaning kusang ginawa niya ang pag-surrender. And it should be unconditional surrender to authorities. So, ang ibig sabihin ng unconditional, wala siyang hinihinging pabor o mga kondisyones para siya ay sumurrender. When do we say that surrender cannot be considered as voluntary? One, when the surrender happens after the service of warrant of arrest. So, sumurrender na siya nung na-serve na ang warrant of arrest. Arrested by accuser's own admission, yielded because of warrant of arrest. So, sumurrender siya because merong warrant of arrest. Accused went to police station for reason other than his voluntary surrender. So, nung pumunta na siya sa police, pero ang pagpunta niya naman ay sa ibang kadahilanan. So, voluntary surrender, even if there is warrant of arrest being issued, matawag pa rin yan na voluntary surrender. Provided, nung nag-surrender siya, hindi pa siya actual na hinuhuli. Voluntary plea of guilty or confession, the requisites to remember. First, the offender must give spontaneous confession of guilt. Second, the confession of guilt must be done in open court and before the prosecution's presentation of evidence and to the offense charged in information. There is no mitigating circumstance if the plea of guilty is to the culpable felonies. Ang ibig sabihin yung negligence or imprudence na mga felonies and crimes under special law. So, in other words, ma-appreciate lang ang plea of guilty kung ang pinag-usapan natin ay intentional felony at saka under sa revised penal code, hindi sa special law. In the original information, there is no plea of guilty. When this was amended, or there was an amended information, there was a plea of guilty being given. Still, there is mitigating circumstance of voluntary plea of guilty. Kasi ang pinaka-prevailing dito, ang pinaka-susundin dito, ang binago yung amended information. So, kung meron siyang plea of guilty sa amended information, so, maka-avail siya sa mitigating circumstance of voluntary plea of guilty. Plea of guilty must be made at the first opportunity. So, sa unang pagkakataon, ang ibig sabihin nito. Halimbawa lang, in the municipal trial court level, hindi siya nag-plea of guilty. Pero nung na-convicted siya, nag-appeal siya doon sa RTC, saka pa siya nag-plea of guilty. Hindi yan matawag na plea of guilty na merong mitigating circumstance. Therefore, he cannot avail of the mitigating circumstance. Let us now move to the physical defect of the offender that is found in paragraph 8 of article 13 of the revised penal code. This includes deaf and dumb, blind, suffering from physical defect, and the requirement is that these defects will cause restriction of the means of action and defense or communication with others. Ibig sabihin, ang kanyang pagiging deaf and dumb, pagiging blind, suffering from physical defect, ito ay mag-restrict, meaning to say, magpa-control sa kanyang paggalaw o di kaya sa kanyang pandepensa o di kaya ang kanyang pakipag-communicate sa ibang tao. The condition sine qua non is that this defect must relate to the offense committed. This is applicable to a person with physical defect, whether educated or uneducated. Next is illness of the offender that is found in paragraph 9 of Article 13 of the Revised Penal Code. The requisites to remember: illness of the offender diminishes the exercise of his will power. Ang ibig sabihin nito, ang sakit ng offender ay babawas sa pagsagawa ng ano yung nasa kanyang niloloob. The illness is not depriving the offender of consciousness of his acts. So this includes illness of the mind, which of course should not be amounting to insanity. Otherwise, hindi siya liable. Another is kleptomania. Ang kleptomania, hindi kasi siya exempting, pero pwede siyang magiging mitigating circumstance. And feeble-mindedness, hindi naman totally na wala ang tinatawag na intelligence dito, nabawasan lang. And mistaken belief, killing witches for public good. So those are illness of the offender. Let us go to the similar and analogous circumstances that is found in paragraph 10 of Article 13 of the Revised Penal Code. Impulse of jealousy, which is similar to passion and obfuscation. Manifestations of battered wife syndrome, which is similar to illness diminishing the exercise of willpower. Over 60 years old with failing sight, which is similar to over 70 years old under paragraph 2 of Article 13 of the Revised Penal Code. Leading the police where the evidence is hidden, which is similar to voluntary surrender. Extreme poverty, which is similar to the state of necessity, appreciated in crimes against property, but not of violence. Outrage, feeling of unpaid creditor, which is similar to vindication or obfuscation. Appeal to esprit de corps of accused. Pag sinabing esprit de corps, that is has something to do with emotion. That is the feeling of an individual belonging to a particular group. So this is similar to passion. Wartime state of confusion resulting in illegal possession of firearms after liberation, which is similar to the lack of intent to commit so grave a wrong. Voluntary return of funds malversed, which is similar to voluntary surrender. And testifying in prosecution without being discharged from information, which is similar to plea of guilty.